Greetings, technology enthusiasts. I am Chandrahas and I am delighted to be here with you representing CyberBrainer. Do you not believe that the technology sector is advancing at an unprecedented rate, making this an opportune moment to acquire the skills that will facilitate your progress? With CyberBrainer, we are empowering you to take control of your own future. At CyberBrainer, we do not merely impart your interests. We assert that information is power, yet it is the application of knowledge that distinguishes you. Our courses are meant to equip you with essential skills, whether you are pursuing data science, understanding artificial intelligence, or delving into cybersecurity. Let us commence the session and seize the future today. Thank you.
Now we have seen a type of timer plan, I believe, or similarly it would be a you. You will be configuring the other time of plans as there is no specific configuration required for any of that. There is a one or time of plan. That's a simplest one we call as a accrue as go. Do you have any idea? Accrue as go for that specifically, we will not give any, will not configure any time of accrual balance kind of thing. We don't give any balance. When the employee applies for that, it automatically goes into the accrual itself. That's what you, I guess already, everything. No, I was working on the only tickets, but it wasn't completely configuring and all. I just have an understanding of all these. But there will be certain validations and conditions specifically be creating. All those I don't know how do they, but once someone has created it, I just go and do the small kind of enhancements or any bug fixes, but not completely going with all the validations creation, bug fix, and all that gives you more knowledge than implementation, I believe. Anyway, because we will not understand how they created that. But once there is a saying that this is an error, then understand this condition is not working and I'll change that. But initially, how did they create all that? We have to understand that also. I'll be using the same plan. I'm not going to create, sometime I get refreshed. That will be a time wastage for you as I'm using same plan. I'll go to edit and let's go on accrual. Accrual as go, basically everything will be looking same. Only the accrual calculation would be looking different. Here we use the absence component delivered by Workday. When you go and create, let's say, when you go and create any of the object maybe. You create a location, a supervisory organization, or maybe you are hiring a new employee. Workday creates a unique identifier for every object, isn't it? And there are certain things when you go and create time off in system, what they create. This is a little different not. The time of reference ID, there is a unique time of ID gets created in system. As when time off is set up, there are certain apps and absence component will be created automatically, which will be time of total, time of paid total. That if I go here and check, in our time of plan, we have our time of this. Annual. I'll copy this. I'll go in edit mode. I'll not save this accrual just to show. In calculation, you come and paste that time off. You see the options are level, it says time off, it says time of paid. This is time of total, this is time of unpaid. This is saying the other. Payout also. 1, 2, 3, 4 there. There are, 1 is the actual one, the first one. These 3 gets created by Workday. If you go and check this, what is this? Absence component related calculation. When you go and try to do, can you take any action? Do some edit or any? No, you cannot. If you see, here it looks that. There is no way, you cannot do anything, you cannot take any action on this. And you have an example of accrued as go plan similarly at some point of time. At some point of time. If you want to use, you can use this as this is a total time of what you are taking. Those many days will be coming in. Near accrual. Basically, those will be accrual for the period accrues. You go and check this time of total. Let's say there is another plan. You are creating there another plan or maybe in the same plan if some time of. And here it's not the time of what you have included in your plan, that time of only to be included. It can be any time of. This just gives a value, this just holds a value. Exactly what time off has been taken in this period, the number of days of time off. Let's say you are building some other plan and there you are tracking the total unpaid days. You can use that in that plan maybe. You can select this and save this. There are, in many countries, the sick days are not limited. The number of days you take. The number of days will be shown as a balance. I believe you must be knowing. How does it look on worker's profile? Let's say today is my first day in company. There will be annual leave or for me, accrual, if I'm starting today, then as per pro-dated amount. Let's say 12 days for this year I have. But if there is any accrue, my sick time off is accrue as go, then there will be 0. In next month, if I take 2 days there, I will be seeing accrual also 2 days and time of period also 2 days. Ending period balance will be 0 always. I mean that is only worker profile, the balance profile balance. Makes sense? Yes. Now, if you go on time off, check the validations and what does it mean? Actually, yesterday we have created one report. Thank you. Just to validate how it if I am able to fetch any employee, Do you remember the name what we gave? No, I think maybe you gave UKGB or maybe you care. Thank you. Yes, we could have built in this. Thank you. I think it is RPT UKMP, I guess. How did? I was just writing yesterday certain things. While class B, I'll write certain details for that. What was that? We can request and check how does it the validation works. When you go on workers profile, it comes under absence request. Now the number of tabs you see on workers profile absence balance, request and leave balance if employee has not taken any, number of days. Let's say you just started and there is no absence history for you. This tab will not be appearing itself. Sometime people get a ticketant who walks in a Workday support team. They also get confused with this tab is not it. I did and passed when I got to know first time on. That was. If that is not appearing, it means there is a no absence history for worker. If there will be one, then it will appear automatically. There is no option of removing this. If they have, they will be. There is an option of shuffling this from here to there, but how is that getting done? Maybe I'll have to look for that. But I see for a few of the client's absence request will be appearing first and balance in middle. Here we have annually and leave. This annual leave, this vacation, training another. The same plan I have created for you. Go in sum. The batch. If you go and check both of the time of plan, why I am opening it. In this system, the proxy is not enabled also. It will not be able to. If they refresh, then it will be a little faster. Faster, it's refreshed along back. For this worker, I'm requesting 20th. Continuing this, we have created and we have another one. This vacation I have created previously. My previous batch this, that is appearing there. And if you see the default, quantity is 1. If you go and see here, there here to be can I see here daily default quantity. Entity, no it will. I believe in a boy and it mode. You say it's one more quantities for our time of plan. We have this one fight. If we go and select this, now if we go and select this, our time off will be coming here. You can your time off. .5. That is default. If you request this, it's been submitted. Submitted and approved as because you have logged in as Jacqueline. She's having lot of roles. Now you should go and see the workers balance. I mean that you already have visibility. How does it look? That's fine, I understand. 0.5 coming as a payday today, Dan. The end period balance would be half lesser. Now if you go to the time of validation, let's build validation here itself on this. The standard there are only delivered validation. You can build nothing from outside. If we go and end in absence, not just absence everywhere, it's always. Recommended. If you are going and building a new or set of absence or either time tracking calculation, if you have option of copying the configuration. Please refer that tree follow that process because the number making mistakes will be little reduced and that will ultimately reduce your testing, maintenance, everything. Oh, this is time. Off. Here you have an option of building validation. This I would do give a plus. Sign here or see what are the options available. I guess there are 9 or 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Totally at the first says consecutive day. Maximum, you mean are in a row. How many days you can take. Friday and Monday is also consecutive day. Consecutive day minimum. If there are certain marriage, lip whenever people go for marriage, then people go for marriage. Then minimum you recommend. Them to go for 5 days. In those cases when you are, if time of type is marriage or the time of which is a marriage leave configured, there you can put consecutive day minimum as 5 if someone booking marriage leave. For lesser than 5 days will be getting an added adder or software. Whatever you configure, these two clear consecutive day maximum. Minimum increments it up tells you the multiple. Multiple of the quantity, default quantity we are. Mentioned as 0.5, we cannot request 0.75 mum for requesting. As 0.5 days, can you tell me what could be the increment for 0.75? You can get 0.25. If we give increments as a 0.25, then you can. Then worker can request any number of days which is multiple of 0.25, either 0.25 or either half. N25, that is increment maximum means. What are the maximum number of days people can request in the days? Days or hour? Unpaid tells what is the maximum unpaid. Generally, it would be 0. Minimum tells similar to maximum. What could be the minimum? For a day when time off is requested. Multiple time off requested on a single day if you do not want people to do the multiple booking for time off. Oh, how a second one, then time of date. Before maximum override balance, it not allowed. Override balance. We go. There is an option on workers profile. You go and you might have done before as part of ticket overriding balance. Maintain time of plan over. Updating the balances for the employee. Changing the balance for the employee. You go to time and absence. There you have maintained time of here. this one. Maintain time of plan over rate balances. Have you done? I don't remember generally what we do. You get an option of overriding the balance for any period. In this case, on this employee is having an annual period. If somehow you feel the balance is not correct and you get a request from either from your HR team or then adjust the balance to that. Just for that period. Let's say by default it's swing as per configuration. It is showing 14 days. Generally it happens for mid-period hire or termination system calculates its 13 days I. But as system calculates as the number you have given in system. But there are some exceptions and for that particular employee in place of 12 it should calculate it 23. In that case, on just for one employee, you come here and put the updated balance. When you come here, it's taking much time. Yes, here you see our time off is not coming away. I think we have not clicked on the override balances. Correct, we have not clicked override balances. That is why it is not coming. Go and click, it will appear. This it's unchecked. That is why it is not coming. Once you go and check, reload the page, it would appear. It takes time and save. Here over at balance date would be the period they started. In our case it's two or two for or see how this is behaving. Sometime it's giving, sometime it's not. Then really that won't happen. Do not worry. Here you will be getting two options. One is your period is started and this is your the day after forfeited. The carryover date in carryover setup applied. It's a correct. The balance is available after 3 months but will be available till 3 months at override. It gives you an option of whether you want to add the balance. Once you finish the carryover models from beginning itself, generally we select this and you mention here. One more field will appear here. Here you give the number of days and that's over if you select the option available on validation demo. Validation. It will not allow any time of requested before that date, the data. What you are selecting. This is what if you want to. Here I am putting just for a test, I'm just putting one consecutive day. Minimum as to now, system should not allow me and let us put maximum and this I'll put 3, minimum it will allow, to maximum it will allow 3, it's min IM play does not apply for 2 days. It will throw an error correct if you are going and requesting before this validation we were successfully applying for 1 day. Half a day after this it should not be. Now I am putting increment as 1. You will not be able to apply for half a day, though we have given us half day in there. But if you put a 1 yield, that's anyway defaulted. Will defaulting as half itself as what you have given. Here I will cancel for this worker for now. Thank you. It will come. I'll select a day today. These general scenarios validations. Most of the validations will be on the leave of absence. Then the time off. Now those are a different set of validation. They're that. Generally we don't have such validations. On time, it will be only on leave of absence only. You can apply only for these many days of leave. Or your relief should be within this time period only. Or you can leave. Those will be on leave. Here you can put, let's say you have certain limitation on number of days that you can put on the maximum consecutive day, maximum that on those. During certain period and all calculated field. Everything will be introduced on your leave. Leave of absence. For leave of absence generally, how many validations? Can we give you a number of validations or there's any specific? Yes, you can. Here we have only daily word. There you have to configure. You do have daily board, but you are allowed to build a custom validation. Here on time of validation, when you are building validation, get an option of building a text if you want to show certain a specific text to employee. Then you can configure that. Oh, here let me. It will be on same page where we build validations. Oh, if you come here, and it will appear on the time when you put the value you have put. 3, let me explain here, or 3 days, I guess this I have explained you. Already when we were discussing the time off and all, here the time of validation set is empty here that you have to create. There is a maintained time of validation set. Basically, what is this time of grouping or validation set? There that will be appearing. Here, do not allow request if you are checking. If you are not checking this will just be giving a warning. A software worker can double click and submit it. When you are clicking it, it will not allow employee to submit it. Yep, here, once you click this, there is another checkbox will be enabled. You have an option of checking this or left it as unchecked. This allows to override on behalf of workers. Worker will not be allowed because you have checked the first one. Do you want anybody else to override the workers on behalf of worker? If you check, then or people. You who walks in a walk, the team, or maybe some admins, managers, they go and do. If it is not allowed, generally you leave as it is here. Custom text about this I was telling you. You can build your own, create term of validation, custom set when it comes. Data validation custom test, then only it comes validation set you go and write the text. What you want. And save it, that will be appearing again. For an example, I'm just writing this. It's been saved. Next time when this validation triggers, that text will be coming as I affirmations. Whatever text we want to write it instead of whatever we want to put. We can put it there only just changing the words and everything, custom text instead of minimum days allowed, that it will give a default. Other if you just want to show that you see there are other fields available. Display custom text first. If you do that, both of that will come. If you do not hide default text, then you do that. That just your custom text will be showing up. And what is time of validation sets? Can you explain that once? Time of validation. Time of validation set is basically here on absence. Are you aware of absence table? Basically, these are, you can see it. What I can say, it's a good. Basically, it's an advanced form of or absence table type I miss in absence. What you do? Or let's say I'll tell you them. It orders your time off in generally Asian countries. Singapore, China. Thailand, they have or 3 type of absence are 2 type of vacation. First, one is called as a statutory and another called as a supplementary. And there is another. They create another time off. Planned twist over the carryover from a statutory. How they do use? They show only one object to worker that they can pick and select time off. If you are taking an annual vacation, they will be going and selecting annual vacation. As per order, automatically the order you go and define in table. Table is just a simple configuration. It's not maybe. Let me try by create absence table. I will have its editing out create absence table. What I was discussing, there are three type of absence they have. One is a statutory, another supplemental, and carryover. First you want employee to use. Here you set a priority one. Here you give validation. Basically, you mention a group, the validation set, mainly used here. What I meant to say. Here, let me know if we come, then let me explain this also. This is not a part of Alapforce content or anything. This absence table, what we do here, you give a predate you once. To 3 that, how many you have? In the scenario, what I was discussing in a priority one, you will be mentioning carryover that and you give a name here. For an example, or we can do this. Leave, we have two leaves, one is called a job. What are training, vacation and another? We have created a BS, something first we go and utilize from. But I guess after creation it won't be working there, I see. Here I'll be putting a BS. Here I'll be putting training vacation. You need to select the time off from this. Which time off will be? If your plan is having just one time off, that will automatically defaulted. This plan was having only one time off, automatically it came up. This is having two. You need to pick. I'm just keeping two. Basically here you need to differentiate the priority. In 1 and 2. If somebody goes UK population and sees, he will not be seeing. Option of or this one annual days or vacation days that. He'll be seeing this name in a drop down. He'll be saying this you can only, let's say somebody who has left with 5 days of annual leave and 25 days of vacation. Now you are going and requesting 11 days of you can only once. You implement absence table, the UK population will be able to see this one. At the time of requesting leave, nothing else. Once you have configured absence table, it will not be getting an option of picking individually from either vacation, training or annual leave. Here you just click this here. By this it would be looking same, but generally or people make this demo validation set and that use maximum. I'll just try one validation, or shall we not put the validation? Let me explain you first to absence. Table because validation set barely will be using. I have not used till date. But this absence table nowadays it's trending. I was explaining somebody who has 5 days of UK annual leave and 25 days of vacation. Training. You are going and requesting 11 days for that particular employee. First 5 days will be taken out from annual. You have made the table and given a priority. Now what will happen? Recently I have a requirement for Singapore. Let's say they want once we have exhausted all the balance from both the plans for an early as vacation training as they want once they exhausted all the leave and their balance is going unpaid. Then also follow the order. That will not happen. Already you have decided daughter. This order says if this is exhausted, use this. Second one, if second is also exhausted, it will be keep on using this from second itself if you want employee to allow or else a stop. We can put the validation saying stop and pay this from 0 or certain amount. You cannot. Once everything becomes 0, then again start unpaid from this. That will not be happening. Here or let's go and request few days for worker. I have requested up 0.5 days. 24.5 days remaining. Let's go and request one a big absence. On every date, you need not to click your mouse. If you just over your Oscar, sir, it will be selected how you select on your phone. When you select up a bigger text masses that you see what a balance. You can this one only this. The absence table this time of we have not this. Time of we have not included in our table. Yes, that is why it is separated. Can we select the two time of plans in the table we want? I mean, we had two time of plans. We just selected one in the absence table. Can we add both of them in the same table, same place? Where we have ABS GBR, we selected one time off. You can leave time off. Can we add two of them in the same place? I don't think. No, let me check. I have a good question. In other places, you said if you add both of them, it will be into an end condition and it will be considered. I know that is a separate thing. No, hear it. Seems radio button itself. I have to say I think only one is available. I guess you will be allowed to pick another with another priority. We have to add another priority for that. 3. Move. You can have. Then it is saying alert your request includes days that have restrictions for other absence time. It seems some of the request has been already. The up. Anyway, that's a lot, but it also shows you. Can only you can only. It will not be showing what balance has been taken. Now you go on worker's profile and check from what balance has been reduced. We just have requested for a few days. 7 days, I means not exhausting all the 25 days. The yes, thank you. Thank you. If you see a total 7.5 taken out from this and will leave itself as defined by predate, it will be taken now what will happen, where is. You have since table. Here we are, we will suffer the credit. Thank you. Will that apply to already taken leave also? That's what let me know. I'm doing that first time. From here onwards, or any booking that will be affected. Do one thing. Recalculate the balance. The recalculating balance. Once you make any changes time of total, those are something created by sorry. Calculated by system itself. If you make any change in your configuration, then you come and recalculate workers' time of balance which is available here. What's her name? Thank you. Is this a new feature or was there since long? No, it will not be changing for already requested one. But from here onwards, whatever you will be requesting will be detected from the new tab. Absence table. It's not a new feature, but it wasn't available from beginning. Say 4 to 5, release back 3 years back. It came and this recalibrated worker time of balance. This task was available, it's from beginning. I didn't know this the time I started. I would say this is what we have in time of. Yes, in time of I mean this is a simple kind of time of where other the any simple calculations to be done. But we have certain time of plans. I'm not sure that it's time of or leave of absence. Go and look into the table and based on that be picking up certain values using that calculations. That's what did you see? Look up table yesterday. We discussed already. You should know what all calculations will be available. We have to just build it. Yep, let me show Chicha. I'm not finding this lady. There is a plan I have created. I have also only one example, also a monthly accrual 2.5 days for people who has not completed. Let me check. I have created that plan in some other batch. I'll show you again. Shall we? It's a plan for Indian employee which accrues to 5 days. Thank you. Not this. What we discussed yesterday or maybe in earlier session, not yesterday. Then we have, I told you at the time of creating accrual day, there is a generic and in most of the companies they will be having that. I'm finding the seniority and as for that and I do have one plan set up. In that be every 1 month or higher date plus 1 year, higher date plus 2 years will be giving that accrual for them. I mean be adding the balances there. No, you said something? I'm asking. Look up date. And we can, the next thing what we can do. We can create a quick time of plan. based on table, that it would be taking our values from table, and let me check whether this is the one or not. If this is not the one, then or maybe offline I'll find and I'll show you in different another class. This is conditional calculation. This one. Basically, this is a lookup calculation. Under lookup calculation, you put a lookup table. Lookup calculation, what it does. You give an indicator. Indicator in the sense use this search field, and based on this value, you go and find the value. Here you built a table and search criteria. You have given year of service then. Only we have discussed continuous service date to original date, higher date here. You give a set of value. Just always keep in mind, do not forget to add 0. That here, if you're writing 1, then people who have not come back. 1, they will be having 0 value, people who has completed 0. Years, but they would have completed 3 months 0, 3 months. Will be satisfying this first row condition itself 0 year of service. They will be getting 2.25 days every month. Who has completed 5 years in organization. When they are completing 5 years. From that point of time, we'll be getting this much 10 years. People will be getting 3 days in a it's named as Y. Just you can capture, take a screenshot of this. That's fine. I just took the name of this lookup table. Based on this, I'll find it. VIG India and you leave. At the time of creating lookup table, you will see various. When you go and create lookup table, you will see multiple options available. For an example, let me show you create lookup table. Because there it's a confusing question comes, and that confuses me as almost most of the after this I'll ask the question lookup table. We create lookup table. You have to pick any of this. Generally we go and pick this because we have to pick the value based on the number. Numeric search criteria. If we pick this and go click. Mostly this is used, but remaining might have used in some other calculation. In absence, but most of the things it was used as numeric calculation search criteria. All of them, not most of them, all of lookup table in absence uses this one day. You pick their numerics calculation search criteria, then here it will ask numeric search. Criteria you write here, continue. Service date or whatever. I did year of service. Basically I misspelled. And it will give you the list of the search criteria anniversary in the year how you want based upon what continuous of a state anniversary, and we're seeing the since higher date on anniversary. Based on higher date, based on continuous service date, based on original higher date. Every anniversary balance period and year divided by. But there are many. If there is nothing, you can create your own, but you will not require to do in time of plan you have any concern or issue. I mean almost whatever time of plans will be coming, all will be in this format only. changing the approval or adding validation or anything. Can you tell me what is any complicated time of plan as such or something difficult to create? And because most of things would be similar, simple. But have you any in your service? Have you seen anything which is complicated? You can just give an example of that kind. It will be helpful for me to say, have to create something very complicated time. Complicated plan? The most of them, complication comes in us or the accrual is based upon the number of hours worked in a period. They're basically what they go and include the tag that also comes. But at some point that will be multiple breakage. If you have done, then also after some day it will be. And one more thing, France. France, or they do not have a few more European countries, they do not have the generic. This one. Balance be good, they start in August and end in July, and there, if I say the France is the most difficult one, they create a 3-plan and CP1, CPP3, they have given a name CP1, CP2, CP3. If you see the policy of CP1, CP2, CP3, I'm just searching by this. Basically what happens, it's CP. Named as this. Of CP1 is the first. Let's say you are starting an organization. If you are starting with an organization, you got a 25 days or 4 week of accrual, 5 week of paid leave in Europe. And these will be a front loaded. I told you also when the front load comes, it would be creating more complexity. When they need to accrue in beginning, the balance either it's a 5 week or 5 days. 5 week in general. The 5 week of vacation they'll be getting under CP1. Now by end of the balance period. That's July next year. July next year, if employee has used most of the days but left with few of the days, 5 days has been left. Those 5 days will be going to CP2. That's a security. Overridden under a CP1, it will be going that balance would be. Switching to CP2 should be done automatically. What happens? The balance under CP2 kept. If that is not being used, we are currently in 2 to 4. If I'm some worker who is starting in 2024, we'll be having a balance under CP2 in 2025 because the leftover balance from 20 to 24 will be given to under CP2. Now again, 2026. What will happen if any number of days has been left in CP2? That will be moved into C3. Is it making sense or it's more CP? Understanding every next time it. Then leave every next CP to also getting the 5 weeks and then this. Leaf gets no, that will be blank. No occur a frequent accrual for that. Just it's a storage from one plan to another to another. Now why? Because it's a more miserly governed by a labor union and their policy is a little strict for that. Now what happens from any of the plan if worker is being terminated? At any point of time, the leftover days would be paid out. There is no expiry of number of days. All those things. That just understanding the things next time. Maybe some experience. I'm putting into configurations will be up. It will not be realizing somewhere to start. That's the one. Apart from that, they give one. Is they just one? I can say, so UK one is the easy one. But now it's not just the UK plan, but it's globally they're implementing it. Already my client, which is there, they started with a few. Philippines, Singapore, Korea. When it comes Asian countries, then also it goes tricky. With Asian countries not in absence. Absence is in Singapore. There is a plan called single parent. Who is a single parent? They get 7 days of balance in a year. There you need to track first of all single parent. How will you be tracking? There should be some custom object built or anything now. The child says would be 6 to 7. I guess it's 7 years. Whose child is a? The single parent can be. Whose kid is almost or 20-year-old. 18 years he should not be getting or she should not be getting. That in Singapore, in Asian country. Also, the difficulty is a little more, and if you talk about the time tracking itself, much more messed up. Japan or China. It'll deal with or this supplementary a statutory leave as when you are working on Singapore, China. There what happens? I believe half of gets distributed in both of that. The statutory, if somebody is getting a 20 days, then close to 12 days or in the statutory and remaining into supplementarily. We'll be using the table as I mean now. Initially, the project was mentioned. When I was going into that role, it was for a ook. Rollout, you get in the state they will be implementing it ook. But they started already with building plans for Philippines, Korea and Singapore slowly. Next year, they are planning to go with the ook than us and they started. But implementing it slowly with all the different plans Canada, UK, USA, India, all that. That's I mean. Initially it was said, mentioned UK, I told you it's UK plan, but currently I'm just on bug fixing for these Korea, Singapore, Philippines countries. Already they are in testing phase for that. CIT is going on. I'm in that stage now slowly. Once after this, maybe I'll start creating time of plans for other countries slowly. One is a VJ underscore. You just search by VAG. We are just an. Forgiveness, there is another SI says I underscore and such will get. Option. Another one, there is a plan called B2 that will be ending with. B2 batch 2 underscore B2 starts with underscore. B2, it should get show. Now the time of plan, these are the time of plans. Related to time off, these were the things now what we left in time of the business process. A time of security segments and a few other minor things if we do not. Let me it's A. There is absence grouping. Now we have created new plans, time offs we have not grouped to. Any of them with any of the group. What will happen? When worker goes and tries requesting the time off, you'll see under a drop down. There will be two options coming sort of folder. One will be time off and another. Leave if we group under time off, it will go under time off if we group. Under leaf, it will go under leaf. If we are not grouping, then there will be a third folder created others, and from there you need to pick for grouping. There is a task called config absence type group. This one, if you see the table, it will get an idea. There is no concept. Nothing behind. Just go there and group there and you are done this. This is basically your folder name. If you put something I and D off, if Indian employees goes and sees, it will be showing a Indian disco time off. I'm sorry. Display name is time off. Time offs will be shown. And these are the plans kept under that. The display order is which one be on the first and second and third. That's it. What we have group, it will be coming the day in the absences which are not grouped. And those are leaving left here. This is what we have now also or while. Requesting a worker or anything, if someone says I'm not finding at the time of what is the reason, but when I search I do, there you can go and put the configuration in that place it will be. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.